My guest today was my pick for Player of the Year 2017, but this year we only seen him at Gamers Assembly. Also, there's a lot to talk about. Will he show up at Paris Games Week? Will he show up at Giant Cup? What is really up with Kappa? But before that, the most important question, Kappa, how are you, man?
Thanks for asking, and let me say hello to everyone listening.
Yeah. And how are you, man? You good?
Yes, I'm pretty good. Enjoying the summer, working a little bit, drinking as usually, and everything is just going in the right direction.
So, what are you drinking at the moment?
Krušovice beer because we are recording it in the afternoon, and I'm not that kind of person that opens a bottle of vodka
Uh,
in the afternoon. But
who is
no
that? Who is
offense,
that?
who is that? Yeah.
For people who listen, this is my like fourth day in a row drinking vodka, so I guess Kappa is referring to me. But yeah, let's start up with the most important question: why haven't we see you play so much in 2018?
The answer is simple because I decided to quit my active career after, let's say, Zerator Cup, the previous edition, not this one, because yeah, it was all planned, and I didn't want to spend that much time by playing the PC game anymore. As simple as that, because I'm already 22 years old and I don't like. Identify myself being 8 hours behind the computer every day, if that's an answer.
Yeah. So it's really come down to that you have more important stuff in life than gaming.
Yes, that's all what it's about. I still enjoy the game. I still sometimes play because, like, some of you know that I live with my fellow ex-teammate Kubais from eSuba, and that makes it like more exciting to just casually play like once in 2 weeks or once in a month. I don't know. Play, compete against each other, play some hot seas and stuff, and but that's it. I don't do more.
So we are not gonna see you at the Paris Games Week or Giant Cup.
I'm not sure if it would be even possible for me to come to the Paris Games Week because I heard you sort of have to qualify for that via the Trackmania Pro League, or am I wrong?
You're sort of correct, but as well wrong because 14 spots are going to be from the season 3, but then there are probably 2 spots open for an open qualifier. So people
That
outside can qualify.
okay, so so let's say there's still a possibility that you'll show me there. It depends on and general feeling about things is in the autumn.
Yeah.
As for yet, I can say for 99% that I will not attend it. But is it actually bring your own PC
I have no
event? I
idea.
don't know.
I have no idea, man.
Because
But
I think the Giant Cup is, and that makes it a big no for me because it's so annoying to bring all the stuff to, I don't know, to Poitiers or to Paris or whatever it is.
yeah,
But if I don't have to bring my stuff to the place, I'm still kinda into it. But yeah, then there's the other page of that yeah, you if you want to perform, especially in such competition there is out there, you go for it and yeah, restrain some stuff in real life to that much to just spend most of your free time behind the computer for those, I don't know, 3 weeks of preparation, and that's what I don't really like to do anymore.
yeah, okay. But we saw you playing at the Gamers Assembly. Why did you decide to go there?
The answer is again simple. I just decided to uh, defend my championship title think it was kind of my duty, to not just win the title and then disappear forever, but I wanted to give the others the opportunity to uh, get it out of my hands.
Yeah. So like beating the defending champion. How was your experience there though? Was it similar to last year or was it completely different?
It was kind of different, but not of the event, but in terms of my mindset, because a year ago when I was playing the matches, I was so hyped, and when the match wasn't going that well for me, I was just like, okay, come on, you have to win. There's no other option than winning. But this year, when I was not doing so well, and by the way, that was this year, I was just like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna lose, go home, get drunk, and that's it. And that's not the spirit you wanna have if you wanna achieve anything, not only in Trackmania, but I think in general.
Yeah, okay. So like not feeling any emotion when a loss came or
Feel the emotions during the matches.
yeah.
I can't. I was actually pretty motivated to train. I was pretty well prepared. Couldn't couldn't perform at the event. I was just not feeling it. And when I completely it how to say that busted out in the grand final,
Yeah.
I wasn't even upset. I was just standing there on the stage watching Pecco getting his deserved title, and I was like, okay, so let's just get drunk and go home. And that was the moment where I realized that I shouldn't attend any more events. If I keep playing with this mindset, I would just keep getting worse and worse, and that doesn't make any sense for me because I don't like losing.
Yeah. But do you think that you have this emotion because you won last year, or is it simply because you have a new stage in life?
Both. It's a bit of both because my goal for 2017 was to win as much as I can because I had a year off from school, and yes, it's both.
Yeah, okay. You played with arguably two of the three best players in the scene at the moment at Games Assembly, Massa and Pack. Who would you call the best at the moment in the game?
Honest, I haven't been following the recent events or the online tournaments, but I think it's still Carl Jr. somehow.
Yeah.
You didn't mention him, but I think I would still rate him as the best one there. Pecco and Massa, I think it's still slightly in the favor of Pecco, but I have to admit that Massa has been throughout all the years, and I can actually see him becoming the best out there in like a year or two. So
But even though you didn't say that you didn't care about how the matches went at Games Assembly, was it still nice going there and meeting sort of the players that you know from the scene?
as I said, the event was pretty cool. It was the same as in the previous years. It was just the difference in my head.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was pretty cool.
So let's talk about the 2017. I think you was a player of the year that year. How would you describe 2017 for you?
It was astonishing for me because I attended 3 tournaments, from which I won 2 of them, and the third one was the Rater Cup, which I expect myself to even qualify. But yeah, the thing is that I'm not a LoL player, or I have absolutely zero RPG skills or so. I qualified for the event because of the momentum I had earlier that year from the 2 tournament victories. that helped me a lot. So I don't think I would qualify to the Rater Cup this year if I trained. Also, the maps were much worse in my opinion. So much dirt in them and random factors. I didn't like these ones.
So you checked out the maps this year to see if you could go again, or?
I did. Actually, I invited Kubais and Tween to my place to watch the final. So we were just drinking and watching the final. It was pretty cool show. Better than last year. So yeah, we had nice time watching it, but I wouldn't imagine driving there for myself because especially that map where Carl finished it, 2 minutes of driving on the pillars, or how to say that, on the tubes. That's incredible, and I don't think I would even be able to finish such a map.
No, some crazy maps this year, that's for sure. But going back to Gaming Winterfest and Gamers Assembly, what event would you call the best for you?
The best in what meaning, you?
Like performance-wise, what event did you feel the best at, that you had full control over the event?
I don't want to sound rude or something, but I think both. I felt pretty confident in both, but it was probably Gaming Winterfest because my two biggest competitors, Tween and Massa, were not probably 100% prepared. So it was a bit easier in that way, but I also think that I was the best one in the Gamers Assembly because I was once again pretty well prepared, pretty much focused, motivated. So everything had to had to come out as my victory, and it did. Even though the grand final wasn't my best, was a bit fortunate because of that connection problems, if you remember that.
Yep,
where
yep.
in the to refocus and home.
But for people who have followed the scenes for some years, they remember that this wasn't your first grand final at Gamers Assembly. I believe in 2016 you also were the best player in the final, but you didn't manage to win it. How was that sort of feeling going into the 2017 edition? Like, can this happen again, or?
You cannot think like that because otherwise I would do it again. I don't really remember anymore, but the thing is, I would like to state the difference between 2016 and 2018, where when I got third in 2016 and was actually crying in the backstage, there are photos of that, and the difference between that and between 2018, where I completely so bad, and I didn't care. That's all about the state of mind, about how much you want it. But I guess that was not the question, right? What can you do? Like in 2017 at GA, it was already a different me because of the Gaming Winterfest victory. The biggest fight in myself before the Gaming Winterfest grand final, because that was the following event after GA, GA 2016, and then there was at first Gaming Winterfest. So my goal was to not fail at Winterfest. So going into Gamers Assembly 2017 was much easier, and I was much more confident than after my first LAN victory.
Yeah. So you would say that the victory at Gaming Winterfest helped you at Gamers Assembly?
Pretty much. I think that was the game changer for me.
But let's talk about the 2016 edition. You said that you sort of felt the emotions that you need to have. How was it to be inside your head at those finals attempts? Was you stressed out? What was going through your head?
I still remember pretty correctly the one decisive round between me and Twin. It was actually played on one of my maps from the map pack, and I was in a pretty confident lead, like 2000, and there were 3 turns remaining or so. Okay, here it is. I'm going to be the champion. And suddenly, rising a car behind me, and yeah, all happened, And I know it was just one round, but I was so disappointed from it that I couldn't keep up doing and not crashing at all. And yeah, it was all going downstairs.
So you would almost say that you were too emotional in that final.
Probably it was my first international grand final on a stage, so maybe that was also why I you know
Yeah.
I don't really know anymore. I'm is that I'm so glad that I was able to overcome it and to not fail as much as I did in that edition anymore.
So let me ask you this: how did it feel to win finally the Gamers Assembly in 2017, and then when you lift the trophy, you drop it and it's sort of broken? What went through your head then? No.
I was so satisfied that all the hard work and all my passion paid out. Yeah, it's just undescribable. Well, if someone from my family or some of my friends look on that and see, like, there's a crowd of 300 people and like another 300 people on the stream, why are you so happy about it? But it's about the motivation and about the passion you put in there, and that's all I had. So I was so glad that it all paid off.
But you follow the Trackmania Awards 2017 and you saw that you won the moment of the year when you dropped the trophy?
Maybe also because there were not so many moments in Trackmania in general.
Hey, talk your moment up, not down, no?
Sorry. uh, yeah, it was patient, but I still enjoyed it. I think it actually added some entertaining point to victory.
Yeah. But would you call this the proudest moment of your career in Trackmania?
Proudest?
Yeah, like winning Gamers Assembly.
Yeah, I would call 2 moments. The first one is Gamers Assembly trophy, and the other one is doing the cut on the Raider Cup. The track was called Vivaldi, and there was such an cut which was so hard. You had to do a perfect slide, have the perfect amount of speed, and have the biggest balls in the world. And I and I managed to do that. So I was really, really proud of myself after doing that. So you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but people that watched it, I think they know.
Yeah. But let's move back in time. Can you tell us how did you get into Trackmania? What was your way into this game?
In a pretty long time, but I think it all started in late 2008, actually. My classmates invited me to play the game because my class in primary school played it. So they just told me to join them to have the correct amount of players to play the matches. They didn't expect me to play at all. Yeah, I just really liked the game. Started to play it regularly. Actually, back in the days, there was a big Czech and Slovakian community with a lot of, actually, really a lot of tournaments only between the Czech and Slovakian teams. That's like unheard of today. Why? So I managed to play a lot of matches and kept improving. Yeah, that's how I got into the game. Like, none of my classmates uh, play the game anymore. Only that's only me.
Yeah. What was your way into the sort of professional scene of Trackmania? Your first big team, let's say.
My first big team. The thing is, when I was younger, to switch from one to another team a lot, so it's tough to say which one was the big, the first big team. It was probably team Druids or Ark Nova together with Nick. But after that, I moved to eSuba in summer of 2011 or 2012. Yeah, that was basically the start of my LAN career, where I switched from playing online tournaments to mostly play like only the LAN tournaments. Suba never had the squad big enough to play and like on any level.
Yeah.
But as I said, the Czechoslovakian community was big enough to host enough offline tournaments as well, so I didn't really need to play any online tournaments either.
My last guest was Tween on the podcast, and he is still in eSuba. What is the reason why you have moved out of eSuba?
That's a bit spicy topic, but uh, it's a bit complicated. But I will try to explain it to you. When I was 17 years old, and it was the year 2013, offered from eSuba to play at Gamers Assembly for the first time. They all paid for me, like the accommodation, the travel, the entrance fee, and stuff. For the LAN, my mother told me that I'm not allowed to go because she doesn't know the eSuba guys and she doesn't trust them. And yeah. So I wasn't allowed to go. And that was a big problem for eSuba. You know, they had already put money in that point. So that affected my like oh, the the what's the word, like, hey, please, right now. um,
Like relationship or?
Relationship with eSuba, because when I got invited to ESWC 2014, the year after, they told me like, I'm sorry, but Key and Twin, and we don't need anyone else there. And it was kind of risky for them, because what if I told them that I'm not allowed to go anymore?
Yeah.
That made me rage quit a bit from the team. But I understand that, because at that point they had two of the like players who were like Hockey and Twin, of course. No room for a youngster who was like just being bullied from his mother.
So what did you think then when you knew that the end of eSuba was coming? Did you look for other teams? Were you trying to quit the game? What was going through your head?
It was kind of both of that, because I remember I was about to quit the game. Also liked to play the game, so I just was looking for another team to play the online competition just for fun. from Fun Team.
Yep.
Now still M&M, I guess. Playing online tournaments with them, but just for fun. I didn't train a lot. We just played ESL and stuff. And then another thing happened. The Nest 2015. I was actually representing not Fun Team, was it? It was actually already M&M. One evening in the Nest, completely drunk, and someone, not sure who it was, but I made a promise to myself that I want to attend ESWC for once in my life, quit the game. So yeah.
So that ended up being ESWC 2015, right? Or
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. And that was the game changer actually, because uh, it was going to be my last event in my career. Actually, sounds silly now, but it was.
Yeah.
It was meant to be the last one. So I trained my ass off. I played 8 or 9 hours a day for the qualification, then for the event. And actually, I almost made it to the grand final. Like I was the finalist and got an unfortunate bug and didn't qualify for the grand final. And that was the point where I realized that I can be better than that. Like I can be better than I've ever thought.
Yeah,
And
because
then
you got into the consolidation final, right?
yes.
Yeah.
I was also the finalist in that match, so lost to Spam and Kronos. Yeah. So that was the point where I realized that I can do better than that, and my career had restarted.
Yeah. So that was sort of a changing moment in your career.
Or if the moment was that drunk evening in the Nest, or the ESWC consolation final, but yeah, one of them was the game changing moment for me.
So there's actually some good stuff coming out of drinking alcohol, right?
That's why we are all drinking, right?
Exactly, exactly. But talking about the Nest, how would you describe the sort of atmosphere there?
It's quite different, very friendly. Like everyone knows they are not there just to compete or to spit on each other's back, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I guess I know
But
what you mean. Yeah.
yeah, so the whole event is pretty relaxed. Like you play 1 or 2 matches a day, so the rest of the day you spend sitting on the garden with the guys and drink some beer and enjoy watching the other matches, cheer for your favorites. Yeah, it's pretty cool, I think. Too bad that it doesn't anymore, but as I said, I live with Kubais, just no homo. Uh, so I can probably talk to him to think of it once again.
Yeah. So would you call that the best event atmosphere-wise, or
Oh, that's a tough question because to compare the atmosphere of the Nest to the Zerator Cup atmosphere, like there's things on the atmosphere of the Nest, but so many good things on the atmosphere of Zerator Cup, which are uncomparable.
yeah? You attended both years at the Nest, right? And the second year you placed second, if I'm correct, or
Yes, I got defeated by the one and only Race Hans, who just played out of his mind. Like if you rewatch the final and realize that it was a no train tournament, it's incredible how consistent and fast he was.
yeah? I actually think he's one of the players in Trackmania that is underrated. Most people think of him as a Nadio hunter, but I think he probably has some of the best skill level Trackmania wise in tech as well.
Absolutely. He showed it all in the nest. In my
Yeah.
opinion, that was the moment where I started to respect him like big time.
But talking about the nest, you cannot talk about it without talking about alcohol, like you said. Who's the guy in Trackmania that is most fun to party with?
Let me think for a moment. The moments in the pool being naked with insane in the nest. I always enjoy drinking with Kubais. I heard Tamarillo is a good drinker, even though he's not active anymore. And I think I've never drunk with him, but I heard he's a great party guy. Uh,
And
Twin is a legend, obviously, Haki, but that's all my fellow Czech and Slovaks, so I don't want to be like, giving them any advantage.
yeah, I guess we have to go to the Netherlands to party with Tamarillo because he's becoming a dad, so maybe the life is gonna be more relaxed now or party wise.
I actually met him on the server yesterday,
Oh,
and I
yesterday.
asked, yes, he played yesterday after like 400 days
Huh.
later on his Facebook page.
And how was his
And
skill
yeah,
level?
he's not too bad actually. Like we were just playing some mini tech, so you don't really see the scale that much. But I think he was doing pretty cool. Like if you like look on it from the perspective of not playing 400 days, it was pretty okay. But he told me he's going to become a father in 1 month.
Yep.
So
We have to go and celebrate with him, right? Like a baby shower.
champagne shower to be
Champagne shower. A golden shower.
yeah, shout out to Exit Rider.
Exit Rider, yeah. He's become a dad right already.
That's true. That's true. But he's
Yeah.
the Meister with golden shower.
But you talked about your teams and eSuba and M&M, but for people that follow the game now, they know that you are in Planet Key Dynamics. How did you end up there?
It all happened before the legendary Gamers Assembly 2016. Uh, M&M told me they just couldn't afford supporting me for like 2 or 3 events a year. Was that kind of guy, so motivated. So I decided to loyal and to quit the team to another just to get the support. I was just 20 years old, didn't have any money, and wanted to win some bigger tournaments. So yeah, that was the only way for me to achieve anything. So I got an offer from PKD, from Stefan Kasink. That's how I got there.
Yeah. And how was your time in PKD if you have to describe it? Because you said that Stefan recruited you, more known as Flo for people in Trackmania. But he left after, I believe he left in 2016, 2017. Is there sort of a difference between before he left and after he left?
Significantly, I would say, but that was kind of expectable. He was the big boss, not the boss, but he took care about happening inside the team. Arranging anything, talking to player, and motivating every single of us. So it was a big difference after he left.
Yeah, because there were a time when PKD and Team Dignitas were the two best teams in Trackmania. But after he left, I said team-wise at least, PKD dropped a little bit. So the reason because of this is just him leaving, or is it more to it?
I think it's pretty much it because it's normal when players come and players leave, players get motivated, players get unmotivated, but the team leader is to at least keep the players motivated and to bring new motivated players. But when you don't have anyone like that to bring new blood to the team, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. But it's you're still in contract, or are you still in PKD at least?
I'm not under contract. I'm just wearing
Tag.
The tag really proudly,
Yeah.
because they're like wearing just a regular Kappa name in white.
Yeah.
I think,
But if you sort of impulsive say that you want to try to get to Paris Games Week or Giant Cup, will Planet Key Dynamics support you in any way?
Or that's it's too far from now,
Okay.
But if I decided to go there, I would be ready to pay for myself. I don't care. Like if it's just a flying ticket to Paris and I don't have to bring all my stuff to there, I would pay it for myself if I really wanted to go.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens in autumn. Actually, it's not that far, but is it in October or when is
Yeah,
it?
Giant Cup, which is the LAN hosted by eCorp, is in end of September, and Paris Games Week in end of October. So you have two chances of going to Paris.
Both in Paris, right?
Both in Paris. One have 3,000 euros as a prize pool, and one have 5,000 at the moment, at least.
Yeah.
I think you're going. I think some impulsive thing is gonna happen, and you want to go there and be the world champion.
Well, I'm not sure about that. No.
But
That's most likely not happening. But also said the same before this year's Gamers Assembly, and I still attended. So
let's see, let's see.
let's see.
And the first time I sort of saw the name Kappa in Trackmania was when I was playing on, I think it was short text service on Trackmania Nations Forever. It was sort of Kappa popping up, Nevermind popping up, and MD Point popping up. How did you start your mapping career in Trackmania?
I just felt a bit creative and started to spend a lot of time in the editor to have my maps being played in tournaments, to like have the players know life it, spend so much time on it. Started when I was still in the Czech and Slovakian community back in the days when there were so many tournaments. Could build a lot of maps and evolved a lot, I guess. Then I switched to the Trackmania exchange style. So you also have to build some nice scenery and stuff. Then I switched to the competitions side again in TM2, where I started to ESL for not sure, can't remember other names right now, but I guess you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I quit mapping or stopped mapping in 2016, actually after Assembly 2016, where I realized that even if I play my maps, it doesn't help me anyhow.
Yeah, because people in Trackmania, I think they sort of think when you play your own map at a LAN event, it's your advantage, but you would say that this is not true.
Not because is that you internally think that you have an advantage and then don't play the map that much. and the outcome is that you are not as well trained as the others are. So it could also be harmful for you.
Yeah. But what is the reason why you stop mapping? Is it simply because you have not any fun with it anymore, or
It was because I switched to no. My main Trackmania goal stopped being a good mapper, but I wanted to become a good driver. Idea in like 2015 was to build good maps and to keep building turns that I am pretty good with on, like to build maps that I will be like nuts on. I realized that it really influenced my building style um, and the quality of my maps started to decrease.
so you stopped in 2016, and in 2017 you were the best player in Trackmania that year?
I was the third, I think, due to the votes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The votes, fanboys, fanboys.
Did you vote for me?
I voted for you, and I remember I even have to sort of discuss with the guests to get you nominated, because I really think the offline events is the most prestigious event in Trackmania, and you won both of them.
Thank you then.
Yeah, buy me a
I
drink in Paris Games Week. No,
no, I'm not coming there. How many times I have to tell you?
you're coming, man. If just for the party, man.
Sounds cool.
But is
if
there?
there's the nest next year or other year, come.
Yeah,
If it's a no train tournament.
yeah, and if Axis Rider comes with his golden shower.
Absolutely. And if Henry Kinerainen Perkele comes naked to the pole.
Live stream after party. But is there a map that you are most proud of? Because I asked Nevermind, and he says it's kind of hard to answer. But is it one map that you think back of? This is the best map I have in Trackmania.
um, one map, I would say ESL Cubinator
Oh, the Cubinator.
map, mostly because I spent so much time on that map, and it's so hard to that it's like so good because it really shows the differences between the players. I've never been a fan of like easy maps on competitions. Then everyone can win.
Yeah. I think that's a sort of a topic in Trackmania at the moment. Some people want the easy maps because then it's close rounds, but you would rather prefer hard maps.
Like improve your driving skills and don't whine.
Easy life.
The competition is about finding the best player out there, and how can you find him with easy maps? That's easy as that for me.
Yeah. I think I agree on that. I like the sort of Trackmania Pro League season maps. They are hard, and people really have to train to get good on them.
I saw some of them, and they are really, really good.
Yeah.
Even with gets much better.
But you have.
So it's
Go ahead.
even more about the competition and about the skill of the players. So you don't get like disrupted from the borders and from unfortunate landing bugs. So I really like the update, and I also like the difficult maps. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
You have said sometimes already in the interview that you will not come back as a player, at least as of right now. But can we see a map from you in an event in the future?
Actually, I was thinking about it like 1 or 2 weeks ago, but there's the problem that I'm not a user, so I'm not like updated about what's going on, and when do I or where do I have to send my maps, and you know.
Yeah. So that's the only thing stopping you.
Well, maybe that's my only excuse.
You always need some excuses, right? But yeah, I think I'm running out of topics. I'm also running out of vodka. But do you have any topics you want to talk about in Trackmania? Some looking back at your career, is it something that sticks out? A story, a moment, a player, anything?
I'm great amount of hours as also. Uh, uh, I do not like playing the game for so long, and I'm really glad that the game is still alive and actually is getting bigger as of yet. It's like this. Uh, Surprised about how Carl Jr. is getting big in terms of like popularity.
Yeah.
And I'm really like supportive to him because he's the one that deserves it so much.
Yeah, looking at his stream this year, he's sort of blown up. Does that motivate you in any way to sort of stream Trackmania at least?
That's true. Oh, so yeah, but I've nothing else coming on my mind right now. Nothing.
Are you going out tonight? It's a Friday today.
Should be.
It should be Friday. Are you going out? Hit the town?
Unfortunately not, but
No,
Dioro?
uh,
Dioro.
I'm not
No,
sure.
no, no. Famous DJ Dioro. Never
Aha.
mind.
Okay.
Day in our town, so I think I'm about going there, but I will probably I will rethink it.
Yeah,
No,
you will go out. No, you will go out.
probably sorry, but I have to wake up tomorrow early and go to work.
Oh,
So just
hard life. You should just be a student and skip university every day. That's what I'm doing for this week. Easy life.
oh, my school hasn't started yet, my semester,
Ah, yeah.
but I yeah, I just have to work to get the money, and
to,
and
to buy some alcohol.
absolutely.
But do you have any shout outs or any last words before we close the show?
Uh, I wish PKD the best, guys. Keep together and become the best again. Shout out to Marek Pacher to quit the game immediately because otherwise you're gonna kill yourself and you're not gonna win the world championship title anyway. It was a bit rude, but he knows I'm just kidding, so it's no problem. And for having me today.
Yeah, no worries, man. Always fun.
All right.
Yeah, that's it now. You have anything left, or should we just close it and go out and party in different countries?
Just close it
Just
right
close
now.
it. Bye bye, guys.
Bye bye.